If you're familiar with this channel, you know I hate politics, but I do love well-made shows and movies, even if they are about politics. A new miniseries hit Showtime called The Comey Rule, and it has a pretty good lineup of stars. So I decided to get a free 7-day trial to Showtime to check it out. Was it worth all that effort? Two extremely powerful men in politics are on a collision course of ideals, and only one of them will remain standing. Jeff Daniels stars as former FBI Director James Comey. He was appointed during the Obama administration and then was still the acting director when Trump took over. And through many clashes with the president and the White House and the administration, Comey eventually finds himself unemployed and no longer the top cop of the nation. The story is mainly told from the perspective of Comey, so it is pretty sympathetic to him and everything that he went through. So I wouldn't call this an unbiased look at politics. The first half of this two-part series really does focus a lot on Comey and how he became the director of the FBI. Daniels makes him pretty likable in this, even if there might be a little bit of hidden arrogance inside the character. And it may not be arrogance though, it may just be this true desire to do a good job. Daniels really pulls off a convincing character of somebody that you would absolutely want to be your boss. He's supportive but challenging, and fair and caring. We see how the topic of Hillary Clinton's emails comes into play, and then the series begins to dive into the investigation of those emails. It shows us the players that are involved as well as the steps that the investigation took. I love seeing the struggle that Daniels goes through because he's pretty much damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. I mean, there is no winning in this situation. There is absolutely going to be somebody wildly unhappy at the end of the investigation, regardless of what side it is. The second half of the series takes place mainly as the Trump administration comes in. It tells a compelling story, probably not an unbiased one, but it's still really entertaining. Brendan Gleeson takes on the role of Donald Trump, and he does a tremendous job. Just tremendous. I mean, he does a great job. Everyone says so. Seriously though, he's a very believable Donald Trump. And this series really does have a tough job of casting characters to play real-life people because most of these people are still alive. And then a lot of them were high profile or at least seen in the news a lot. And so you have to get at least some of the mannerisms, the way that they behaved, even if you can't get them to look spot on. And more so than anything, the acting has to be convincing because if it's not, none of this works. I mean, it can still be entertaining, but you just don't buy any of it. I really did enjoy the story of this. I mean, how much is 100% true? I don't know, because I wasn't in the room where it happened, but I am entertained and engaged as it goes along. And to me, it didn't matter if the story is 100% correct or 100% fabricating, as long as they can draw me in, suck me into the characters, and keep me wanting to watch more. And I think Jeff Daniels is a wonderful choice of character, especially if we're, as an audience, supposed to be able to sympathize with him. If we are supposed to then feel for him, want to cheer him on and root for him, because he plays that character really well. There's also some other great performances that we have too. We have Michael Kelly, Holly Hunter, Scoot McNairy, and Kingsley Ben-Adir, who had a pretty tough job trying to play Barack Obama. The series also intersperses news footage into the narrative. This adds even more timeliness and seemingly trueness to the story. Again, I don't know exactly how much of this is true or how much has been fluffed up for narrative purposes, but it is a lot of fun to watch. And again, it is told from the perspective of Comey. So we do expect it to be more on his side, to show his point of view more than anything, to make him the hero of the story. And if you're into politics, then you're probably going to get a kick out of this. And if you dislike President Trump, then you'll probably get even a larger kick out of this. But if you're a supporter of President Trump, then you're probably not going to enjoy this too much because it doesn't paint him with rainbows and butterflies. But it's also good to say and know that it doesn't make him the devil either. I didn't get the sense that the series was absolutely trying to vilify the president. I mean, yes, it was not painting him with a very nice paintbrush, but it still wasn't making him the absolute evilest person on the face of the earth. So ultimately, this was worth my free week trial on Showtime. I'm glad I got to see it, even though I hate politics. That being said, though, I don't think it's something that I'd ever watch repeatedly. There's not really any sex, no nudity or violence, but there is some profanity. I give the Comey Rule 4.5 out of 5 couches. Who are you voting for? No, I'm totally kidding. Please don't try to engage me in a political debate because I'm just not going to respond. If though, however, you would like to share with me your favorite Jeff Daniels performance in the comments below, that I will definitely respond to. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.